I got the power to move ya. You're listening to the PlaNIya podcast series. Greetings. This is Jasmine coming at you live from where I am coming at you from. This is a PlaNIya podcast series, episode 2. I am the Jasmine Green McConaughey. I say the to make myself feel better. The purpose of this series is to evoke thoughts and to resurrect your true opinions. Your thoughts should be your own. That is my true belief. That is my true beliefs. A lot of people don't believe that nowadays, but hey, that's why we're here. Today we'll be tackling the topic investing in yourselves. That's something we will be tackling today. Yeah. And I got some special guests. Lucky us. Look at us. Okay. So, basically, if we could just cut the music for a second. There we go. All right. So, with the new year still fresh on a lot of people's mind, a lot of people have their pockets already spent on the reinventions of themselves, okay? Everything that they gonna get, everything that they gonna do, the trips they gonna go on, everything. And in my last podcast series video, episode 1, the reintroduction, the relaunching, yes, some of the dates were off, but this is the relaunching. I talked about how a lot of people just have these unrealistic New Year's resolution plans, but we ain't gonna talk about resolutions. We're gonna talk about how to really get the most out of your year and the years following. There's a lot of misconceptions that come by shopping and spending all this money on yourself, and you feel like you're making an investment in yourself by, going all out doing these things. But we're going to dive into the topic and see if we can clear up some of these misunderstandings and develop a better plan of action in order to really truly invest in ourselves. Now, first, let's take a look at some of the definitions. Invest, it means to expend money with the expectation of achieving a profit or a material result by putting it into financial schemes. So that's the first definition that came up. Now, the second one is to devote time, effort, energy for a worthwhile result. The next one, buy something whose usefulness will repay the cost. And the last one is to provide or endow someone with something. Right? Now, the first definition, this was the first to pop up. And it's right on time. Because we know that tax season is here. And people are about to start flashing their money on social media and being better parents to claim these kids. I know I'm guilty of already having my checks spent, but it's not like I'm going shopping or anything. I'm taking a trip, but everything else is being put back to fix some mistakes that I made financially in order to better myself in the future and be able to invest. And the thing that aggravates me about these social media posts when people be flashing their money is they act like people didn't get the same memo. They act like people don't know that tax season is going on. So it's like, baby, put your money in your pocket. We know it ain't gonna be there next month. We know it ain't gonna be there the month following. So like, everybody know you got your refund check. And then I'm one of those type of people. I sit here and I will count all the little 20s and stuff you got laid out. First of all, it's ignorant because it make people think that you ain't used to nothing. That's what my mama would tell me. These people rocking around here flashing stuff act like they ain't used to nothing. These dudes, how they be wearing their shoes. Oh man, don't scuff my shoes. Forget that shoes are there for protection of your feet. Yes, it's good to look nice because I'm one of those people. If you step on my foot on purpose, we're gonna have an issue. And if you scuff my heels, which are my nice shoes, we're gonna have an issue. But definitely don't spend so much money on a pair of shoes that you can't even risk scuffing them. I mean, they are on the ground. But yeah, my mama would always say that these people walking around here flashing stuff are people who ain't really used to anything. And you see these rich people who don't even buy these flashy cars or anything. Like, they don't have to do all that because They used to it. They don't get all the flashy shoes or whatever, because it's like these shoes are fine. I was reading this article where this guy was sitting down with this rich man, and he was asking him, why don't you have the iPhone 10 or the iPhone X, or why aren't you riding in a Lamborghini, and why aren't you wearing this, that, and the third? And the guy was like, why would I sit here and try to impress people who I know I got more money than? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's pointless. My car drives just fine, and it keeps me rich because it drives just fine. It's a great car. It wasn't trash car. It wasn't anything that was cussing as it rode down the street. You know what I'm saying? It was a nice car. It rode. He took good care of it, and he was able to keep his fortunes and invest in other things to maintain his wealth, and also provide some wealth and some things for his lineage and those who are to follow him. And I'm just gonna come at my folks a little bit, not my family, but my people. We are the largest group that tends to try to show out on each other when it comes to seeing who got the best this, who got the best that, who's got the best everything. So I know we have sense. And I know we have sense because we were born with it. And I know we were born with it because I asked some of my students to help me kind of, I was just trying to gauge where they were and what their understandings were as it related to the word invest. Granted, they did not know the definition of it, but they used the context clues when I said, first I asked them what it meant to invest. You know what? I'm just going to play the clip here. Hold on, give me just 1 second. They all answered no.
Raise your hand if you don't. Okay. What if I said, do you know what it means to invest in yourself?
This is when their wheels started turning.
Figure that out. Okay. Who would like to try to figure out what I'm talking about? Not what you think. Find stuff by yourself. Say it louder.
So basically, I took a lot of time out of class because the unit was on our neighborhood at work and responsibility. And so what I had my students do in the class, I had them to create their own businesses. They had to do a brochure. They had to tell me about their services. They had to tell me what they needed to start their services. They had to give me prices. They had to tell me what they needed to do to start in. I am actually the bank, so I had to loan them $50,000 in order for them to start their businesses, and they had to draw something that would represent their products. They had to actually pitch it to the class. They had to do advertisements in order to sell their products to their classmates. I also, printed out, made a little booklet of the types of houses they could buy with certain prices. I'm talking about I had it rolling. I told them about credit, everything. And as their classmates were buying the items, they were able to come pay me back, and then they were able to see the fruit of their labors. And so they each created their own company and everything, and they were able to invest in it. I told them certain things they could invest in, and their money would grow and all of that stuff, and they had their savings. It is amazing. And I had a lot of parents come and talk to me like, oh, we really appreciate you doing this. I would have never thought that. So that started a lot of things at home. I have students who actually, coming into the Christmas break, they started a real business. Some of my students asked their parents to help them create what they really wanted to do. For instance, I had a student, she wants to make her own nail polish. I showed her a YouTube video of this little girl who made her own beauty products to show her that it was attainable. So if children could figure out a way to invest in their own futures and save their snack money and, ask me to have a class bank where they make deposits and stuff like that. So at the end of the year, they can have money for their summer, or they can have money to go buy their mom Valentine's Day gifts or their father's. It's just, they invested money in themselves at such a young age. Now, the young man said, finding a way, excuse me, the young man said, it's basically finding a way to fix something or something like that. And that's coming out of the mouth of a baby. So, yeah. So I started with the young. Now I'm gonna go to the OG. I would like to introduce my daddy, Dr. Donny Dion Green Sr. He's the pastor of two churches. Before I moved out, before I got married, oh my God, before I moved out and before I got married, he required me to have at least 6 months worth of rent. We know that was not possible, but he required me to make a financial plan, and I had to sit down and show him before I left home. So he's been through his ups and downs with finances, so he really knows what he's talking about. And plus, he has a good coach, which is my mama, who kept everything, from A to Z in order. So he's just gonna give us some, advice, some encouraging word or whatever, and some insight into things that, we rarely talk about. We talk about money, but we talk about it in a fake way. I'ma shut up and I'm just going to get right into it.
Good afternoon. Hey, my daughter asked me to do this. She pushed me up to do this. I guess she thought it was important that I do this to help y'all. Mm-hmm. But she wanted me to talk to y'all just about investing yourself and the importance of investing in yourself.
Yes, that is very important.
As a black people, as a black race, for some particular reason, we are at the bottom of the pole when it comes to investing even in ourselves. Our savings, we live from paycheck to paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
And then we waiting on the next check, mm-hmm. which will never come, mm-hmm. especially during this time of year, tax seasons. We can't wait to receive our W-2 forms. We'll run to the mailbox, or we'll even get our last check stub and go and file our taxes. Mm-hmm. We can't wait for it. In other words, we're borrowing money from people during tax seasons, and we promise that we'll pay them back when we get our tax money. As soon as we get our tax money, it's already spent. We'll go purchase cars that we can't afford, and we'll ride in them
and post
for
pictures.
3-4 months.
Yes, Daddy.
And after, we ride them 3-4 months and we can't pay the note on them, then the car,
it gone.
Is repossessed.
Mm-hmm.
So she asked me to talk about investment. I'm also reminded of this lady. Her name was Candy. Candy's Adam. She was
a
lady that won it wasn't 1 point.
She won a lot of money.
It was $10.5 million. She won $10.5 million.
She was on the Young to Fix My Life. Mm-hmm.
She was living on welfare before all of this happened. Living in the projects on welfare. And all of a sudden, she played the lotto and she won $10.5 million. Ooh, she was happy.
Mm-hmm.
But her mindset wasn't ready for what was coming her way. So she lived a luxurious life. She wore the fancy clothes, bought the fancy car, bought the big house, hung out with friends, party. Mm-hmm. And while she was thinking and doing what she was doing while she was doing it, she didn't have no idea that she still had to live after all of that. So what happened? You're right. She lost every penny. And now, here she is back in the projects, paying rent,
mm-hmm.
and now she's on a bus going to a part-time job. And the essence of this thing is almost like this: a rich-minded individual with only $100 is in his or her pocket is much better off than a poor man, or a poor-minded man,
mm-hmm.
or a poor-minded individual with $1 million in his or her name. Are y'all hearing what I'm saying? I want you to hear this.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't remember anything else for the rest of your life, I want you to remember this. Remember this. Building wealth has nothing to do with money, but it has everything to do with your mindset.
Mm-hmm.
You got to set your mind right. If your mind is not ready to invest for tomorrow, you're going to always be broke. That was an old saying. A preacher used to be on the radio. His name was Reverend Roosevelt Franklin. And he used to say this, nothing from nothing leaves nothing, and cheap from cheap leaves poor. Leave your children and your children's children an investment. It's time for black people to start investing into their future. Mm-hmm. And not just into their future, but become an owner of something.
And support it.
Of something. I mean, own a house.
Oh.
Own some property.
That's good.
Own your own business.
Yes, there we go.
Are y'all hearing what I'm saying?
They hear you, Daddy.
I think I've said enough. Don't you think I said enough, Jazz?
Yeah, Daddy, you did good.
And I want you to remember this. Whatever you do for the Lord,
plug for him, Daddy.
You do it with your whole mind and soul.
Yes, you better plug for Jesus. Okay. So let's go ahead and give my father a hand clap. Good job, Dad. He did so well, don't you agree? But yes, it's something in there that he said that I just adored about rich-minded individuals versus poor-minded individuals. A poor-minded individual is somebody who is not so secure with themselves that they have to find their approval from everybody else. You know, I, too, am one of those people who are guilty of posting pictures. I post food in a second, especially if I cook it. Because, you know, skills is something that you learn. You work hard to attain. So if I can cook a meal that looks and it is scrumptious, I'm going to post it and I'm going to brag about it. Because I want people to know that my husband, you know, has a wife that can throw down in the kitchen or whatever. Or if I do something for my daughter, I want people to see, hey, you know, I'm doing what I need to do. Especially, you know, these people, I'm not going to get into that. I'll get into that later. But, you know, there's a target on, you know, certain posts that I make. But when you out here posting pictures of your money, oh, I got the red bottoms on, oh, I just got the new handbag, that is something I personally would not post, because you make yourself a target. There are some situations, especially during tax season, where somebody posts something, somebody who you think is your friend say, oh, look at this post to somebody, and you end up getting robbed and stuff like that. Like, act like you are used to stuff. Then won't nobody think that you know, being fake. If you have that stuff, let somebody see you when you walking in Target with your coupons in your hand. I'm a couponer, you know. So I'm just going to endow you all with some tips. But first, let's take another look at these definitions. I'm going to read them again. Number 1. Are you expending money with the expectation of achieving a profit or material result by putting into financial schemes? I'm not saying, you know, make a bet on a basketball game or whatever. I'm the first person to support basketball or whatever, but I would not make a bet. Is something going to come out of that? Is something going to build from that foundation of money you just slammed down on the table? Or is that a pride thing? Number 2, devote time and effort and energy for a worthwhile result. Don't sit up here and spend all your money on all these clothes and then be sitting in your chair at home with buyer's remorse. With all these doggone bill collectors calling you from the credit card money you done spent and you can't put back. Or, you know, you just sitting here with these clothes. Are you investing time and energy in yourself? Are you looking within yourself to figure out what truly makes you happy? Materialistic things does not make you happy. I'm going to need y'all to stop calling me. Materialistic things don't make you happy. They make you happy in the moment, but are you truly satisfied? Find out what truly satisfies you and invest in that. Now, if it's ratchet, y'all know me. If it's ignorant and ratchet, don't do it. Don't even try to talk yourself. If you gotta talk yourself into do it, don't do it. Listen to you. Oh Lord, because some people try to twist stuff. Let's go at it with a mature mind, okay? Next, buy something whose usefulness will repay the cost. Okay. I am guilty of seeing something in the store that looks different. I ain't never seen it before. I ain't gonna see nobody else with it because ain't nobody got my eye. Ain't nobody got my style. I'm an artist. I'm finna get this one outfit that I can only wear 1 or 2 places on 1 or 2 occasions. That's good maybe every 5 years, but do you always have to do it? I really have to downsize my closet and everything. I have a whole shelf full of shoes right now that I've only worn once or 0 times, and that is ridiculous. When you are in the store, evaluate if you really need that. When you are online shopping make you think you ain't even doing that bad. It's online. It is on, girl, guy. If it does not repay itself in cost, leave it on the shelf and invest it. Next, to provide or endow someone with something. Don't be selfish with this. Sometimes you do have those people that give to other people all the time. And yes, it is perfectly fine for you to give to yourself sometimes. You one of those people who give all the time. You do need to endow yourself with some special time and some special items. But if you are one of those people who just, I'm finna go get this, I'm finna go to get that, blah, 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 and it is completely unnecessary, you need to reevaluate yourself. If you are 1 paycheck away from being in a financial crisis, or 2 paychecks away, or 3 paychecks away, or 4, if you cannot lose your job right now for fear that your life will be in shambles, you're gonna have to move and all that stuff, you really need to do some reevaluating. If you, God forbid, were to leave this earth today, how much of a financial strain would your death be? What would you leave your children? What would your family have after you left? What would be your legacy? You won't have a legacy if you sit up here spinning it up. Only thing you will have is Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat posts, which over time, that style of whatever you got on will be out of style. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? So, again, just plugging last week's episode or whatever. Remember how I talked about nobody has their individual style? I feel like my style is along the lines of Whitley Gilbert from A Different World. Yes, it's old fashioned, but I love the way she dressed. She dressed so classy and nice, and it was like effortless. But you know where you can find them kind of clothes at? Goodwill, the thrift store, all that. Saying won't nobody know. But I forgot where I was going with that. I said that to say be an individual. Stop. That's what it was. Be an individual. Stop trying to keep up with everybody else and keep up with yourself. And that is going to get you on the path to true satisfaction. Now, it's time for some tips. Sorry, I did the vocals, and yeah. But anyway, time for some tips for investing. Yes. All right, number 1. Start with small amounts. Don't wait to invest. Don't be like, I'm broke, I ain't got no money to invest. When I have some money, I'm going to invest it. Don't do that. Let me tell you why not. Because if you wait till you have some money, you ain't ever going to do it. You always going to be focusing on the fact that you ain't got no money, and then you ain't going to stash nothing away. Take this approach. Start with small amounts. Like your little luxuries that you buy every day, buy those in bulk. Say, for instance, Starbucks. I am the first person to love me a caramel frappuccino. The big size or whatever. But that's going to run you, $6, $8? I don't know. But it's going to run you $5 at least, I'm going to say. Or $4 or $5 a day, right? If you go $4 a day or whatever, you forfeit or you forego that little luxury that you're doing. In a year, that $4 a day will turn to $1,460, or that $5 a day will turn to $1,825 per year, right? So think about the little luxuries that you do, that you splurge on or whatever. I understand, you may feel like this is what I need, this is how I pay myself. But just think about it. Just think about it. What are some things that you can live without for a little bit? Just a little bit. It's okay for you to splurge every now and then, but every day, just think about letting some things go in order to build some stuff. So do what you have to do now so you can do what you want to do later. Number 2, start saving early while you're young. Think about retirement. I'm here 28 years old and I'm already thinking about retirement. When I was a little girl, 28 was the year that I was supposed to be making 6 and 7 figures and I would be able to retire. Unfortunately, I started to spiral out of place when I got my graduation money from high school. I had never had that much money, and baby, when I first learned that money can spin, I spent it. But anyway, start young. Start thinking of ways that you can earn extra money here and there, and put some money to the side. $20, $5, put it in the bank and keep it, because it's important. I mean, imagine if you stack up or whatever and you're able to sit down on that money that you done stacked up. It'll be a very, very, very comfortable seat, in my opinion. Number 3, research and read some money saving or self-help books. I recommend Dave Ramsey's Moneymaker book. Gervais has the hard copy book and I have the workbook, because I'm more of a kinesthetic learner. I like to be hands-on. I would recommend getting the workbook, but both books are aligned perfectly. So what you get in the workbook, you get in the regular textbook or whatever. However, in the workbook, you get to work it out. So yeah, I would recommend getting Dave Ramsey's book. Also, number 4, listen to a podcast. You already doing that, so give yourself a round of applause. Yay! You're so sweet. Number 5, exercise consistently. Exercise, it ain't got nothing to do with money. If you feel better about yourself, you'll start doing and making better choices about yourself. Trust me, just get active and you'll see what I'm talking about. It'll definitely cause a change and spark something in you. Number 6, take care of your mind. Take care of your mind. Get off of social media so much and stop comparing your life. If you really research some of these depression triggers, social media is right there. Social media and internet use. When we get on this internet too, and everybody guilty of it, everybody keep their phone in their hand or whatever, that's a trigger for depression. You constantly comparing your life to everybody else. You constantly trying to see what this person got and that person got, saying I ain't got that. And so you're trying to live up to this expectation when these people are only showing you what they want you to see. If you're gonna have a social media, be transparent so you can help everybody. This person, she ain't bragging about this, that, and the third, but look, she doing this right now. She ain't got it all, but I like the way she's doing this. I like the way she's making it happen. It's enough for everybody, but everybody's so busy bragging about the things that they do have that they barely have, that we keep it from each other. It's ridiculous. Number 7, set goals. Get on Pinterest, do a vision board. Do whatever you gotta do to set a goal and do it now. Go ahead, get your piece of paper. We'll wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Go ahead and get your piece of paper. I'm sitting here and plan, set goals, and be realistic. I got those tips on the episode before that was shot in 2017. This one shot in 2018. Today is January 30th. Yep. And it's going up January 31st. Next, number 8, have a morning routine. The way you wake up is very important. I get onto Gervais all the time. When I wake up, it has to be completely dark. I have to walk into a restroom and cut the light on before I get in there. Can't be any music. It has to be the same way every day, or it's just gonna mess up my zhush. So yes, Have a morning routine that's effective. Get you some breakfast. Get you some green tea. Get you something healthy. Don't be going in with all this pork and this bacon and all that stuff. Get you some turkey bacon. Get you some turkey sausage or whatever, because that's heavy. You don't want to start the day being tired, so do that. Number 9, protect your spirit. You know I'm finna plug. Protect your spirit. Protect your beliefs. Okay? God loves you. Love him back. And if that is not your belief, then have something. I personally feel like you should have God, and that should be your choice. So I'm not going to push it. I'm just going to say there are many benefits in trying him. But you know what? That's going to be another topic for another day. But protect your spirit. Protect your being. Don't let anybody come in and project their negativity into you. Stand in your own energy. Protect your energy and protect your spirit. In the day, if you got to do sticky notes with positive messages and stuff like that to yourself, do that. But protect your spirit. It's important. And number 10, impress yourself. A lot of people be dressing and again posting stuff on social media and all that stuff, spending all their money, not investing in themselves, to be left with nothing and living paycheck to paycheck like my daddy said and all that stuff. Impress yourself. If you impress yourself, meaning looking inside yourself and finding out what really satisfies you as a person, and I think you'll be all right. And I think you'll be on the right path to effectively investing in yourself. It's important. We got to do it. So that concludes this podcast. I'd like to go out with some shout outs. Shout out to my students because they are brilliant. They do everything that I tell them to do as it relates to making them better people. Because these going to be the people who run the country one day. You know what I'm saying? No, it's not a part of the curriculum. I just tie it in. I cross teach. Because it wasn't something that I learned in school. So I'm starting it early because they have to have a business mindset for earlier on. And I want them to be able to compete globally. Same way I'm raising my child. When they in my classroom, they mine. So, yes. I'd like to also give a special shout out to my daddy. Because he stepped on. And I was just like, Daddy, you need to record this today. You need to record this now. And he did it for me. So, thank you, Daddy. I love you so, so much. And my mom, because she's always supportive and reminded me to follow my dreams. My husband, my daughter, my brother DJ, my brother Jamel. We call him Bleak. But yeah, and shout out to excuse my blank language. My daddy listening to this girl. But it's shout out to her for all her support. One of my subscribers. Thank you so much. Next week's topic will be, I gotta look at my bullet journal. It is not in front of me, so I'm finna check and see if I have it on my phone really quick. Let me see. Please tell me I have it on my phone, because I don't want to walk all the way in there. Hold on, you guys, I'm changing. Hey, hold on. Two guys and changing. Hey, hold on. I gotta go get it. Alright, I'm back. Sorry, next week I have everything. But next week's topic is quitting to live. Yeah. Feeling stuck. That's it. Feeling stuck and quitting to live. And so basically we'll be tackling some stuff. We'll be tackling some stuff about that. Quitting to live. Feeling stuck. What you gonna do about that? What are you going to do about that? I think that's gonna be the topic. If I change it, you'll find out next week. But anyway, tune in again next Wednesday. Yeah. Thank you for listening. And y'all take care. Remember, your mind is your mind. Love y'all.